Hello and good afternoon and welcome to Talk of the Devil, brought to you by the Lancaster University Comedy Institute here on Bailrig 87.7 FM. I'm your host Ben Winterton, bringing you Talk of the Devil, which is a comedy news panel show about some of the more light-hearted news stories of the past week or so. Over the next hour I'm going to be asking our three contestants a series of questions and I'll be rewarding points for them being correct, relevant or funny. Joining me today is the wonderful Miss Laura Dean.
Woo!
The wonderful Mr. Ronnie Balmer.
Woo!
And the equally wonderful Mr. Pete Smith.
Woo!
Woo, thank you.
Fantastic. So what have we been up to in the last week or so, guys?
Well, I got back from Bulgaria earlier this week, so I only know Bulgarian news really, so I'm going to be a bit redundant in this, but I'll have a go. Have a swing.
What's going down in Bulgaria, Laura?
They're changing to the euro from the lev.
Good. So that's.
I was using the mathematical program R.
I used that. It's not very good.
Other mathematical programs
Yeah, I was going
are
to say
available.
we like to defame programs on here because I've got a beef with Excel.
Other programs are available. Other
No,
programs.
those programs.
Are
I think
available.
to my audience, other programs were available.
Yes. Well, that's all good. So, Pete, have you done anything exciting? Have you been to Bulgaria or?
I've not been to Bulgaria
Not
or any
myself.
countries that have now begun to use the euro.
You've not been to Ireland?
Other currencies are available. Not in the past week, no. No.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, that's all exciting. What did you get up to in Bulgaria, Laura?
I drowned my sorrows after my exams. Sorry, Mum and Dad. That was about it.
Sorry, Mum and Dad, I've done exams.
No, not the exams, the drowning of my sorrows. But all is well. No, I sat on the beach, I went in the sea, and I went back to my hotel and slept.
Well, that's good. I mean, if you weren't going to drown your sorrows, how would you kill them? Like arson or buried alive?
Well, I would drown my sorrows. The clue is in the title.
So did you go swimming or drink a lot?
I did both. Not at the same time, that is dangerous.
It's what?
Dangerous.
Alright, just a quick sort of warm-up story. So China have launched their first female astronaut this week. Did any of you see that?
No.
No.
Well, China have a space program. They've got their first female astronaut. Who or what would you send into space and why?
I would probably send myself so that I could instantly be the head of any sort of dinner party conversation, no matter the topic. I could just go, I went to space, and then everyone would have to listen. It's like, oh yes, and then I did surgery on the Prime Minister of, I went to space. But you continue talking. Mine's obviously not important.
So,
Mine would be for vain, narcissistic social conversation
hey,
reasons.
that's why we do everything. Pete. Ronnie, how about you?
I think I'd send Pete because I can't think of a better reason.
Pete also gets my vote, I think. I think for comedy NASA value, we could...
Alright, well, during the next song break, I'm going to email China and see if they can sort that out. I mean, I know Pete's not Chinese or trained or anything. As far as I know, you might be any number of those things.
No, I can go to 50,000 depths underwater, but upwards isn't. No, I'm not trained for that.
No.
What's China's
You're
email
trained to go
address?
50,000 feet underwater?
Yeah, so if you need me to fix like an oil pipe or a command sub, I can do that.
I do need you to fix a command sub, Pete. That's specifically why I brought you in today.
What's China's email address?
It's china@china.ch. Other domain names are available. Okay, fantastic. And of course, we've got you, our wonderful listeners. You can message in online if you just go on the little box on the side of the Bailrig website. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at TOTD Comedy, and we're on Facebook if you just search for Talk of the Devil. And we also want to know what you'd send into space other than Pete.
If there are any other alternatives.
Yes, I mean, presumably we're going to bring Pete back with something you want to jettison into space, maybe into the sun. That's
I
your
will
prerogative.
do my best to not have it destroyed upon entering re-atmosphere.
I would send Pete into space because I think he is out of this world.
So, round one is the quotation investigation. In this round, I'm going to give our contestants some quotations for the last week or so of news stories. They simply have to tell me who said them, and extra points if they can tell me the story or what the quote refers to. And as usual, I've tried to sneak a 50-cent quote in. So, if you can guess the 50 cent, which one's the 50-cent quote, bonus points there. So the first quote: "Someone was rude to me. I was angry. I can forgive the human being, but not the action." Any ideas?
I honestly, I wasn't listening to the quote, I was thinking of more puns.
Right. Get your head in the game, Ronnie. Someone was rude to me. I was angry. I can forgive the human being, but not the action.
Was it Russell Brand after he was questioned on Graham Norton this week?
It was.
Was it actually? I don't know. It just came
didn't-
to me because I know that they had a bit of a lovers' tiff.
I
Yeah.
don't think it was on Graham Norton, but yeah, it was actually Russell Brand. Cheeky Russell Brand met the Dalai Lama this week and boasted about his sex life. The ex-junkie had Tibet's celibate spiritual leader, I assume that's Russell Brand, then the Dalai Lama, celibate spiritual leader in fits of giggles as they made an unlikely double act in front of 11,000 people. At one stage, the Buddhist monk, 76, wagged his finger at that wacky charmer and then playfully tugged his beard.
Oh, see, I got the right person but the wrong story, because I know that Russell Brand fell out with Graham Norton this week over his split from Russell Brand's split, not Graham Norton.
You're telling me Graham Norton wasn't married to Katy Perry?
I know! Ruin the illusion.
Yeah, I know none of these.
Russell Brand,
things.
he's a comedian, and the Dalai Lama, he's
He's also a comedian.
he's a bit sort of old school. I don't think he's British. I think he might
Very,
be
very
Canadian.
politically based comedy.
Yeah.
Before we go to the next quote, I'd like to warn you guys that I've been reading news stories about raisins that have left their wives for another, just in case the show covers current affairs.
Oh, I
I'm
get it.
insulted
That's
by that.
Or if
I'm giving myself a point, that was better than
movements
yours.
of the
What?
sea,
No, it wasn't.
movements of the sea have extra marital liaisons. That would also be another form of current affair.
You all make me horribly sick. Right, next quote. Boy bands made me hate music. Now I'm marrying a musician.
Is it the Dalai Lama?
It's not the Dalai Lama, no. Well, he may have said that, but that's not the one I've got on the card.
good. Is it Graham Norton?
It's not Graham Norton, no. Is Graham Norton married? Well, he can't be married
Is it
because he's
Louis
gay,
Walsh?
but he could have a civil
He
partnership.
has a couple of dogs, but not like a partner, no.
What are you suggesting he does with it? In fact, don't suggest it on live
I
radio.
wasn't suggesting.
Ronnie, what was that from you?
Was it Louis Walsh?
It's not Louis Walsh.
Graham Norton on Louis Walsh did.
Any other? I'll give you it again. Boy bands made me hate music. Now I'm marrying a musician.
It rings bells, but I'm just not sure which bells it's
Okay, it's someone from another form of entertainment that isn't music.
Film.
Yes, it's a she, and she's been in lots of films. She's been in some films.
Judi Dench.
It's not. It's not Judi Dench. Of course, Judi Dench is from York, which is where I'm from, which is the only famous thing to come out of York, other than the Archbishop of York, who's not actually from York.
And the Duchess
There's
of York.
like Yorkshire Tea, that internet company from Yorkshire.
That's from Yorkshire, not from
Yeah.
York. We've got lots of things from Yorkshire.
You have a lot of things from Yor, which is also almost York.
I used to live in York for about 8 years.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't it?
So like, yeah, it's a really nice place.
You know where else is
Point
nice?
for Pete for
Aylesbury.
agreeing that the place I'm from
Geographical
is nice.
nepotism.
Okay, come on. This is a British actress who's marrying a musician.
Which British actress?
I think she's
are they?
won an
I only have
Oscar.
Judy-
She was in an adaptation of
Tandy Newton.
a no, it's not Tandy.
She's
Newton.
not won an Oscar.
It was an adaptation of a. She was in an adaptation of a Kazuo Ishiguro novel last year.
Oh, Kerry Mulligan.
No.
Keira Knightley?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was
I know
nominated.
I do that, yeah.
Yeah, she for Atonement. Did she win
For
an Oscar?
Atonement? No,
Well, she
no.
was nominated.
Has
sorry.
she won an Oscar then?
No,
my
not
bad.
IKEA
I was gonna say, I
Knightley.
should have won an Oscar.
Yes, Keira Knightley is poised to join the exclusive Star Married to a Musician club. I don't know if that's a formal club or if that's just figurative.
Facebook
Like
group.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Kate Moss and Carey Mulligan, she has found herself a cool British singer-songwriter to settle down with. The Pirates of the Caribbean star announced a fortnight ago that she was engaged to James Right On from the Mercury Music Prize-winning indie rave act Klaxons. I don't know if his name's pronounced Right On, but that's how I'm going to say it.
I don't listen to cool indie music. More of a Celine Dion fan myself.
Well, she's quite indie. She's more hip hop, isn't she? Hippity hoppity. So, next quote. Most good businessmen negotiate well, so the terms in their contracts are good. Friendship is expensive.
50 Cent.
It is 50 cent, Pete. Damn it, I thought I could sneak that past you.
I was going to say George Osborne.
I'll give Ronnie a point for that. Yep, 50 cent tweet I picked up. There's no news story there, because he's still 50 cent. Finally, if they want to pay me £1 million to sit there and slag everyone off, I'll do it.
50 Cent again.
It's not 50 cent again, no.
Danny Minogue on X Factor.
It's in relation to X Factor, but it's not Danny Minogue.
Who else on X
It's not
Factor?
someone from X Factor, it's someone commenting on X Factor.
Piers Morgan.
Cheryl Cole.
It's not Piers Morgan or Cheryl Cole.
The Dalai Lama.
It's not the Dalai Lama, no.
I love it when the Dalai Lama just slags off X Factor.
I would like, because, you know, they
Money.
say those pseudo-spiritual, like, you're like a dove that's flown in your voices. I want the Dalai Lama to be there so he can go, no, that's just a load of nonsense. As I should know this.
As the Dalai Lama, I think I'm the most qualified to tell you you're a terrible person.
There's no such thing as 110%. I feel like I should just say this right now. Let us never bring it up again.
I think that should just be an optional extra on all television programs. You know, like a lot of the, you know, you can press red. Yeah, you just get press red for the Dalai Lama, and he'll just tell you what's wrong with everything. All right, one more time. If they want to pay me £1 million to sit there and slag everyone off, I'll do it.
David Cameron.
It's not David Cameron, no. It's
The economy's a bit down.
Hunt.
It's not a politician. It's actually a musician.
Oh, it's one of the Gallaghers.
It's not one of the
Sounds like
Gallaghers.
something.
You're kind of approaching the right ballpark.
Chris Martin.
It's not Chris Martin. That's probably closer.
James Blunt.
Okay, I'll give you a clue. He's from Yorkshire. He's in a band that's from Yorkshire, anyway.
I don't know any Yorkshire bands.
Specifically Leeds.
Don't know.
Blur, Damon Albarn?
Nope.
No, I don't know if they're from Leeds or not.
Okay, I was going to say, actually, they're originally called Runston Parva, but that's not going to help anyone, is it?
Is it Ladysmith Blackman Barton?
It's
NWA.
I don't think you're going to get it. It's Nick Hodgson from the Kaiser Chiefs.
Oh, no.
So, Kaiser Chief drummer Nick Hodgson says he'd be an X Factor judge for £1 million. The Ruby Rocker said he'd be up for joining Louis Walsh, Gary Barlow, and Chulisa Kontostavlos on the panel. Sorry if I got your name wrong, Chulisa, I know you're listening. On the panel show, if show boss Simon Cowell paid out the hefty fee. Kaiser Chiefs frontman Ricky Wilson revealed earlier this year that he turned down a judging role on BBC One show, The Voice.
See, I don't even know like the name of the lead singer of Kaiser Chiefs, let alone the drummer.
I like the
Wilson.
vainness the drummer has. Like, he imagines the people at the X Factor, and who should we get on? Like, instead of going like for Sting or Tom Jones, they go the drummer
Kaiser
from the
Chiefs.
Kaiser Chiefs.
Did the Kaiser Chiefs do I Predict a Riot?
Yes.
Now I know that they were from Leeds. That's less impressive.
I'm not going to give you points for the anti-Leeds jokes there.
There are other
Ronster.
rioting cities available.
Yeah.
There were last year.
I don't think... Did Leeds riot last year?
I don't think they did. I think it was just like Manchester.
I was in Ireland at the time, and when I was watching them all online, and I was sat there going, York's not going to riot unless they close Marks and Spencer's. Like, we'll be fine.
I actually have a fun fact. Back home where I'm from in Lee, Lee joined in on like the third night of the riot, so I can tell you that we have 2 local newspapers, and the riot made neither of them.
Lee has 2. How big is Lee?
There's the Lee Reporter and the Lee Journal. Like, I don't know why they have 2 local papers. They just do.
Is there a Lee Harvey Oswald as well? Another point for Ben. Good joke.
That's a killer newspaper.
Right, we've gone too far.
The Lee Harvey Oswald's a bit intellectual. It goes through most people's heads.
We apologise for that. So I think that's a good point to move on. So that's not making the podcast. So the Leveson inquiry's been going on once again. I want to know what our contestants would have a government investigation to if they could. We've had a couple of comments in. One from Laura's dad, which
Yay!
says, "Welcome back, Laura." Oh, we've had another one, in fact, that says, "Do you know the one shop that was not looted in the riots last year? Waterstones." Says it all, really.
Thanks, Pop and Fresh.
There was a quote from a guy who worked in Waterstones, and they were like, they said, "Are you not worried you're going to get robbed?" And then maybe they steal the books, they'll learn something. Which was quite funny.
Brilliant.
Of course, it's Father's Day, so does anyone want to do any shout-outs to their pop?
Happy Father's
Yeah.
Day.
Hello, Dad.
Hi, Dad. I know we don't normally sort of buy into these created holidays by card companies, but I know you're not listening because you'll be busy, but hi. And Unknown says Yorkie comes from York, surely. If they mean the chocolate bar, yes, it does come from York, that's why it's called the Yorkie. The chocolate bars are available, of course. Also, a Yorkie is the term you give to someone from York. If
And
you didn't
also
know.
a terrier.
No, you don't call them terriers.
You call those Yorkshire Terriers Yorkies, don't you?
Do you?
So if you say, like,
as
oh,
a
for my
child,
birthday,
I
what a
used to think that
Yorkie?
Yorkies were named after the footballer Dwight York. because I was a bit of an idiot. No one correctly went, I'm going to have a Dwight York bar, and people just thought I was stupid.
I realised the other night that, I remembered, should I say, that when I was a kid, you know the phrase prima donna? As in, like, I thought that referred to things that happened before Madonna. Because I was like, seemed a lot more sensible than, like, oh, it's an Italian phrase that means this. Anyway, so, Leveson inquiry, what would you put government inquiries into, Ronnie?
I would put the government inquiry into whose idea it was to make the Go Compare man.
What? Other advertising mascots are available, of course. What's your problem with that mascot?
It's just a man that shouts random words for insurance, and I don't like him. And I know he's an easy target, mainly because he's massive, but...
He is like is he part of the Welsh National Opera, though, the man who plays him? Yeah. He's a genuinely talented singer.
Is that
he's not
real
a genuinely
facial hair?
talented advertiser.
Well, it's better. I think it's better than those Halifax, other banks are available adverts where they had the staff singing a remix of other songs.
Oh God! Yeah.
And also Pick Me Up, other magazines are available. Did a similar thing to the tune of Build Me Up Buttercup, and I really like that song.
Other foundations tunes are available. Yeah.
Talking about advertisers is a horrible way to do a radio show.
Yeah, but I enjoy it. Laura, what was your idea to have an inquiry into?
Why did they put Galaxy truffles in celebrations when they
the
were
chocolates
never
are available.
actually... Sorry. When they were never actually made into a chocolate bar, and where did they go? They just went.
They've been replaced by something else.
Twix.
Oh, the chocolates are available.
I think we just pick these stories based on how many times you have to say that phrase.
From now on, other things are available.
Well, it's an interesting thing when confectioners do that.
I was very upset.
I don't know. Maybe they just got some pigs involved, because pigs find truffles, don't they? But they eat them. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pete, save us from this madness.
I would ask where Corn Pops went. If you don't know, Corn Pops were a cereal.
The cereals were...
No, that's the point. They've been discontinued. They've stopped existing for like a decade. And
I've never heard of them. Where are you from, Pete?
I'm from Kidderminster near Birmingham. No, it was Kellogg's Corn Pops. They were like a big brand one. They've been discontinued for 10 years, don't worry. But I used to have them all the time. We used to have them all the time. And then one day I went in the shop with my mum and they'd just gone. And I was like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes. It's just like, what's going on here? Where are the Corn Pops? And people will go, Corn Pops never existed, boy. They've never.
Hot and crumbly.
I had to Google them because I was paranoid they didn't exist. They're there. They're right there.
They do exist.
Were you shouting, where am I? What year is this? Where's my cereal?
And I'm running around like all the President's Men going, it goes all the way to the top.
Other films are available. My favourite, they've discontinued my favourite crisp flavour. There was a curry flavour crisp by a certain brand, and smooth. You see, that's how you do it. And they're genuinely amazing. I don't know why they don't make them anymore. Anyway, round 3 is funny because it's true. My favourite round. It's your favourite round. Basically, I've got 3 news stories here, 2 of which I've completely made up, and 1 of which is real. I'm going to give the contestants a brief overview. They can ask me some questions if they like, and they have to try and guess which one is the real news story. Are you ready, contestants?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Story 1. Nostradamus predicts the charts. Reputed seer, Nostradamus, who in his famous work The Prophecies, has often been claimed to predict future events, such as the rise of the Nazi Party and the attack on the World Trade Center. However, one interpreter online has claimed that his work is actually about the pop charts of the last few years. The blog website entitled The Rise of Gaga claims that the quatrains deal with the work of Lady Gaga, as well as the popularity of Justin Bieber and the death of Amy Winehouse. Nostradamus' work is widely considered to be inaccurate and full of inconsistencies. What do we make of that?
Has he got nothing better to be doing?
Nostradamus, he's dead.
So the answer's no. I don't know what to think about this story because I believe that somebody might post this online, but this is a story that has Ben Winterton written all over it. And I am aware that last time I panelled this show and you were hosting, I did spend a good 10 minutes mocking one of your stories as clearly written by Ben Winterton, because I believe that was Socrates sending the first tweet. But I think Nostradamus predicting charts has yeah, it has you written all over it. I don't think it's true.
It's like one of those obsessed super fans, and because she's worn such a variety of stupid outfits. You could take any line from one of Nostradamus' writings, and she has probably worn something like, if it's burning churches or slabs of meat, she wore a dress like that. It's clearly about her.
I mean, that's the thing. Like Nostradamus, I was reading up on Nostradamus about this.
To write the story.
No, as researching this story, or maybe writing up on the story. I'm not going to confirm or deny it, Ronnie. And generally, yeah, like they are ridiculously vague. It's like me saying some water will fall, and you can interpret that pretty much any way you like. Laura, any ideas?
The thing is, people are always predicting or taking something and then predicting those stuff. Like, the world has been supposed to end so many times now. Like, I've lost count how many times it's supposed to have ended. So it's perfectly valid. Like, there is someone in the 7 billion of us out there who's gone, oh, yeah, no, he was talking about Lady Gaga's biggest hit and the fact that she wore the meat dress in this one. But I don't think it's true because, I don't know, maybe there are some people who are that crazy. But I just don't think, I think maybe there are more thrilling stories.
Okay, well, we'll move on.
In terms of prediction stories, actually, since the Euros have been on, or the football competitions are available, they've tried to replace Paul the Octopus because obviously he died, and there are at least 3 other supposedly psychic animals that have been. There's a cow, there's a pig, and I think there was another one, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Probably a barnyard animal.
Did Paul die?
Yeah.
About a year after.
Oh, little calamari Paul. Oh.
Don't worry, he saw it coming. Alright.
I see what you did there.
Quite funny. And, alright, second story. Bush's head found on Pike on Game of Thrones. Although the face of the head in question is not visible, the view behind being a partial profile from the rear, the shape of the lips, nose and brow are a match for George W. Bush. The skewered skull appears to be contemplating the middle distance on a partly cloudy afternoon, lower lip tucked into upper. Tangled and blood-stained brown hair hangs past where the shoulders would be. The producers admitted that the head was Bush's, but said there was no political commentary intended.
So they admitted that the head was actually George Bush's. Are you really telling me that, Ben? So
I think
we're
it's
admitting a murder right now, talk of the devil.
I think it's meant to be a prosthetic head.
He did do a speech where he offended the Lannisters and waged war on the 5 kingdoms, so that's what he gets, to be honest. I think this is true.
I'm going to give you a point for assuming, and I'm assuming those are references to Game of Thrones, other TV shows and books.
I think that's true. I think they got a George Bush. Yeah, I think that seems plausible.
You're going for that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did they just like hire have their not makeup department, like props department, just like hire a load of heads, so they've got a load of different celebrities out on there and then just put
What do you mean hired a load of heads? I think if you hire someone, you have to hire the whole body. It doesn't say here.
I don't know.
I think it's probably just easier if they buy like masks in bulk. I think that's why.
Just have a load of different presidents on Game of Thrones.
Well, let's not go down to dead presidents again. Alright, finally. Bee/wasp hybrid set to devastate British summer. Biologists are warning that the months of August and September, which are predicted to be some of the hottest on record, could be ruined by a bee-wasp hybrid, in inverted commas, from northern Africa. The species, which has the appearance of bees but the aggression of wasps, is actually a form of hornet. Scientists predict that the warm weather could lead to a mass migration of the insects, which can cause dangerous allergic reactions when they sting. The Sun newspaper, other papers are available, referred to the species as wheeze or bosps. What do we make of that?
I was going to make a joke about how, like, celebrity couple paper things. Well, like that.
Like the wheeze or the boss.
The wheeze or the boss. I think that could be true.
That's annoyingly plausible.
Have little wasp babies. Bosp wee babies.
Wee bosps. The wee bosps.
Wee bosp.
Wee bosps. Pete, has that managed to sway you from your conviction about the previous story?
I didn't think insects could like interspecies, mate.
It's a hornet that looks like a bee, but it's actually just a hornet.
So instead of calling them hornets, the Sun is doing some stupid. That's silly.
And you don't believe
I believe the Sun's stupidity. Other stupid papers are available, but no.
Did you say like the hornet bee wasps have flown over from Africa?
They're predicted that they may come over from northern Africa.
well, that's just going to be disappointing for them. Like, we've got rubbish climate. It's going to be so cold. We're going to need little jackets.
Well, I think it's going to be warmer this August and I can read it again if you want.
Yeah, but it's still a bit of a trip across, like, the Med and the Channel for little hornets.
Yeah, but
unless they hitch a lift on.
Well, but I've read about insects doing this. Like, there's like the locusts. Is it they often like turn up to towns and screw them over? Like, you get that in America quite a lot, don't you?
Get that in the Bible and things as well.
Yeah, and toads. What are they all about? All right, guys. So we've got 3 stories. What are your thoughts? What are you going to go with?
I'm going to go with the one that sounds least Winterton and go for the 3rd story.
You're going to go with the insects.
Yeah,
okay, so Ronnie's going with the wee wasps. Pete, you're still
I'm sticking with Game of
you're
Thrones.
sticking with Game of Thrones. Laura,
Science and Nature gets my vote, so the 3rd one.
you're in with the 3rd one.
Yeah.
Well, if you went for Nostradamus, you'd be wrong.
Yay.
I made that up.
Did you, Ben?
So the thing is, whether it's Game of Thrones or Wee Bosps, I can reveal. Drumroll, please. Pete is correct. The game of George W. Bush's severed head prosthetically did appear on Game of Thrones. I made the Wee
And they
Bosps
didn't
up.
notice.
Well, they did notice, and there was a complaint, and they've had to apologise for it.
I thought if somebody noticed, the last thing they'd have to do is apologise.
Our producer Rachel will be putting a picture of that on the Twitter momentarily. In the meantime, guys, we've had there's been a discovery of what is believed to be the oldest cave paintings in the world. Red dots, hand stencils, and animal figures represent the oldest examples yet found of cave art in Europe.
So red dots. That's just
blood
blood stained.
splatters?
Yeah, that's just blood stained walls, basically, Ben.
I think blood would wash off after a certain time. Anyway, the symbols on the walls at 11 Spanish locations, including the World Heritage Sites of Altamira, El Castillo, and Tito Bastillo, I don't speak Spanish, have been long been recognised for their antiquity. If you were going to leave something behind on a wall for someone to discover in thousands of years' time, what would you guys leave behind? Have a think about that. Oh, we've got one comment in. I'm just going to say
Laura's dad?
It's from unknown. I'm going to say what the product he's referring to. Other such products of that genre are available. The good flavours of Pop-Tarts are gone. All gone. That was my delivery. It's not really like that. What is there any like foods we want to bring back?
Lucky Charms.
Other cereals are available. You know what? This is just a bad idea.
Yeah.
What would you leave behind on walls for for people in thousands of years to discover?
Well, in terms of this show, certainly, if there's 2 things that I'm well known for, it's saying the word Silvio Berlusconi and making puns. So I would like to come up with a pun about Silvio Berlusconi, and if any listeners would like to message in and help me out on this one, that is what I would leave on a cave wall.
No
a pun of
one
Berlusconi.
message in about Silvio Berlusconi.
No
one.
I will give Ronnie, if by the end of the show you can come up with a pun about Silvio Berlusconi and like cave paintings, I will give you some points for it. Until then, you're going to have to sit on it. Laura, any ideas?
Well, you know, you get those those things that you can
I've
put
got a
your
pun.
hand on, and the little needles, and you can imprint your hand, and you get like a 3D image.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'll just turn the wall into that, so that in like thousands of years, people can just like imprint themselves onto this wall.
That's quite a nice idea for
I know.
a genuine, like, artistic.
And they'll be like, "Who did
thing.
this?" And I'll be like, "Laura D."
I thought you were going to say you just leave an imprint of your body so people can feel you up that long after you're
Oh
dead.
no, it's for them.
That's a genuinely really nice idea, Laura.
Yeah.
Okay,
For the
Pete.
people.
I would write the entire synopsis to the film John Carpenter's The Fog, but I'd only do like 3/4 of it, so I would leave a quarter out. So 1,000 years later, they would have this new. It would be like this new tome. It's like we've got these pages missing. How does The Fog end? And they'd never know.
Of course, other films are available. I mean, maybe if you're listening to this and you don't know how radio works, you think maybe that's some running joke. Ben's not going, no, you have to say that every time, and the contestants are well aware of this. Thank you, Pete.
Hey Ben, did you know that a cave painting was found in Germany that represents a certain Italian Prime Minister? I'm not going to say who it was, but it was carved on Berlusconi.
I've got a Silvio Berlusconi one.
All dead
Go
bodies.
on, Pete. See if you can top that.
The Silvio Berlusconi cave paintings were made after the Iono Berlusconi age.
That's a better pun, Ronnie.
Don't
Laura,
look at me. I don't have a I'll think of one.
Oh, Pete, that's Sylvia Fox.
Right.
Moving on.
Round 5, headline deadlines, or what's it called?
Mind the gap.
Mind the gap. Headline deadlines is my terrible name for it, but I want to put my own personal imprint on this show. Gosh darn it. Right. Okay, so in this round, basically, I'm going to give our contestants a headline. I've omitted a word or phrase, and I replaced that word or phrase with the word what, and they simply have to tell me what the headline is. So, firstly, can what predict the future?
It's got to be an animal.
Does it?
Pigs, cows.
Paul.
We'll be here a while.
Go through all the species.
It's not an animal. I'll save you some time there.
Can what predict the future?
Nostradamus. And can Ben write about it?
It's not Nostradamus, and no, he can't.
Is there another word missing? Is it can television psychics predict the future? And is the other word no?
No, it's not. It's no one claiming to be a psychic.
Okay.
Any other
Well,
thoughts?
anything can predict the future, or like it could be said to predict the future. So I'm just going to say anything can.
It's
anything.
something. You're close. It's something.
Oh, so it's something vague.
No, it's something very specific.
Oh.
Any other advances?
Can.
Drawings of some sort, will it be? Or?
It's not quite like it's kind of a simulation that. Like, do we have any ideas what kind of simulation might predict the future?
The Sims.
It's not The Sims. Other games are available.
Oh.
I'll give you it, Laura, before we just get into people naming other PC games. It is a PC game. It's I'll just say it once. It's the PC game Civilization.
Oh, darn it! I should know that because I play that game
never
a lot.
heard of
Other
that
video
game.
games are available, of course. Yes, a man who's been playing this said computer game for 10 years describes the year 3991 AD as a hellish nightmare of suffering and devastation. Daniel Knowles says the game has certain assumptions built into it about what will happen if there's a nuclear war or if you stop producing green technology. I actually read about it, and it was... some people said it was predicting 1984 because basically there were 3 superstates left who were constantly at war with each other. Most of the landscape was devastated from nuclear war, and there was a fight for scarce resources. So, see you in the year 3991. Okay, next. Ducks take over bell ringing duties from what?
Bell ringers.
It's not bell ringers, no.
Bikes?
What?
It's not bikes, no.
You get bells on
right.
bikes.
But surely that'd be from the bell,
Yeah.
not from the bike.
From the clangers.
Perfectly valid.
It's not the clangers. Other TV programs are available.
From an orphaned hunchback living alone in bitter isolation.
You see, that's how you do it. You make allusion to it without saying the title. No, it's not that, Pete. I'll give you a bonus point for not saying intellectual property. Any other ideas? I'll give you it again. Ducks take over bell ringing duties from what?
How would they bell ring? Like with their beaks or with their wings? Because they have no grip.
Well,
They just crash into the bell repeatedly.
it's an important question to ask, Laura. So how could they ring them? Maybe there's some sort of special setup. And if that's the case, what could they be replacing?
Geese.
I'm going to give you it, Laura. It's ducks take over bell ringing duties from shy swans.
Hold on.
So shy swan.
Wait just 1 second before we go into the story. How do you determine the shyness of a swan?
It's if they go.
No.
I'll read you the story,
That's an
Ronnie.
angry swan.
I'll read you the story and you can ask me any questions after that. A pair of Muscovy ducks are posing a threat to centuries of tradition after taking over bell ringing duties from a group of shy swans.
Oh.
The usurped swans have every right to be in a bit of a flap after the greedy ducks I'm not from Yorkshire. After the greedy ducks took control of ringing the Bishop's Palace bell in Somerset. As an 800-year-old tradition, the duty is usually taken up by the trained swans that live on the moat in order to get fed. However, the pair of ducks are more than happy to help out and grab some food for themselves. So the swans
So
have been
malicious.
intimidated by the ducks.
Malicious duck.
You have to train the swans to do it, but in the meantime the ducks have gone, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Boom.
Again,
Swans
how do you
usurped.
train a swan?
How do you train... No.
How do you...
No, we're not saying it. Point to Ben for not saying another film. Does that answer things, Ronnie?
I guess so.
Is it like that guy and his dogs? What was his name?
Pavlov.
Yeah.
Pav-
And maybe he's done the same thing, but with swans.
He didn't train his dogs, he just psychologically
But he-
tormented them, though.
It's
But
the
maybe
same
they've
thing.
psychologically tormented the swans and the ducks.
What school did you go to, Ben?
The School of Hard Knocks, Ronnie.
Things are tough in Yorkshire.
Every time they rang the dinner bell, there was no food.
Yeah, I'm also terrified of
Oliver.
white mice.
Yeah.
The ducks.
That was quite a clever joke there
was.
because
No, I liked it.
I'm going to give a point.
You
And
can
also,
have a
going to give Peter a point for getting the joke.
Yeah.
Cool. So, this is my favourite, but genuinely, this is my favourite one this week. It's about another type of waterfowl. Lucky goose named what after being shot 7 times?
Dead.
It's not dead, no. Any other thoughts?
The new 50 Cent.
Lucky.
You've got it, Pete.
What?
It's duck named 50 Cent after being shot 7 times. I genuinely found this after I'd done the 50 Cent quote. A goose which was shot 7 times with a pellet gun has been named 50 Cent after the rapper, who also survived a number of shootings. The rapper didn't name the goose. The story of 50 Cent has now gone widespread, and Dr. Rob Connor says he has received lots of calls to adopt the plucky waterfowl.
Oh, plucky, I see what they did there. That's cheeky.
First one to do another waterfowl pun gets a point.
Why
Duck and
didn't you
cover.
duck out the way?
There you go.
Yes.
What was yours, Pete?
Duck and cover. Mine wasn't as good.
I'm giving the point
Yeah.
to Laura there. Ronnie, any advance on your Silvio Berlusconi pun?
No, I'm happy with Berlin Stoney, quite frankly. I don't think you
Well,
give me enough credit.
you're not going to be happy when you see the points. Next. 7 cow what sets new record?
Band.
It's not banned,
They
no.
were making music.
I can't give you a point for that, Laura. That was too bad.
Sorry.
You're just milking it. Right. Any
I've got some beef with these puns.
right.
There's
We're
another
only
one.
skimming the surface.
You
More
guys
like
need a...
semi-skimming the surface.
What's your stake in this pun off?
Look, these are going directly into my brain from past your eyes. No, it doesn't work. Come on. 7 cow what sets new record?
Farm.
It's not farm, no.
Is it 7 cow dinner?
Pile up.
Dinner's kind of the right ballpark.
Ballpark.
7 cow ball. Oh, is it 7 cow burger, 7 cow steak?
You're very close,
7
Pete.
cow cheese.
I'm going to give Pete the points, but if someone else can get the specific thing. It weighed a ton.
Butter.
It was made of cows, and it would be very unappealing.
Shoe?
It's not shoe.
Leather jacket.
It's edible. It's edible.
Oh.
Just.
Gristle?
Cow
Fat?
tongues.
I don't think you're going to get it. It's 7 cow doner kebab sets a new
Oh.
record. A 1-ton doner kebab made from 7 cows has been crowned the largest on the planet. By officials in Turkey. Officials confirmed that the gigantic meat mountain, weighing a whopping 1,198 kilograms and measuring 2.5 metres, was a new world record on Tuesday. It took 10 cooks to create the gut buster, which had to be held in place by a crane while it was officially measured. The hefty kebab smashed the previous record set in Australia in 2004, weighing almost double the size. That doesn't make grammatical sense. The size is a measurement of size, not of weight.
It's quite a meaty story there, Ben.
No more puns now. We've had the puns. So yeah, what do we make to that? Isn't that a horrific
That
idea?
is horrifying.
I think Rachel's going to put a link up so everyone can see.
Why?
Do you guys just want to quickly see it?
Yes.
Not particularly.
Why is it in this day and age when we've got like problems with obesity and stuff that we're making bigger foods and like not making the smallest food?
Well, that is impractical because no one's going to eat that. It's not like they gave that to a starving village somewhere,
Why
is
don't
it?
they do this in starving countries and like bake big cookies in Africa?
Meat's not a practical form of food, though, is it? Because you have to
But
kill
if you
them.
had cookies, it might be.
You have to transport it as well. They could have just given the 7
They should
cows
just make
instead
it
of
out there.
turning it into this grotesque, mummified sarcophagus of flesh.
Sounds delicious.
That is how they market it. So I market it. Absolutely vile. Have they eaten it? Have they like even tried a bit, or are they just going to like dump it into the sea to be?
I don't think it has to be edible to qualify, Pete.
Oh,
So it can be rotten.
No, it's a kebab for starters.
Yeah, well, there you go. Alright, finally. This one is incredible. Farmer's right to shoot what?
Wife.
It's not wife. I think he wants a wife, Ronnie. That's what I've heard. No, it's not wife.
farmer's right to shoot
Rifle.
his own version of the new James Bond film on his farm.
No, it's not that.
I'm going to think of James Bond farm puns now.
Farmer's right to shoot what?
Heroin.
Of course, here on Berwick FM we don't endorse taking drugs.
Don't look at me.
To shoot down incorrect answers.
Maybe there's
No, that's my right, Ron.
maybe there's a farmer in Devon or somewhere where there's like a naughty fox. So maybe he wants to shoot like maybe it's like I was gonna say maybe it's like a certain book where there's a certain naughty fox and 3 farmers want to shoot the fox, but I'm not gonna say the author or the title.
Because
guess it yourselves.
You can have another point there, Laura, for not saying that book. No, it's it is an animal. I'll give you that.
Is it a goose?
It's not a goose.
Rooster.
It's not a rooster.
50 Cent the duck?
Is it 50 Cent?
Was a goose. It's not.
Goose.
It's not 50 Cent, either the goose or the rapper.
I'm going to say like a wild bull elephant. That's just.
It's not. You do it.
Where's
It is
this
a British
from?
farmer.
Oh, I was going to say like a walrus. Or... Well, you didn't say where it was. I mean, he might be like an Antarctic.
That would only happen if it was in Tuscany, because
No,
walruses
you don't
have
get
tusks.
walrus.
Or Wall Russia.
Right. No,
it's not a walrus.
it's specific about who owns the animal. That's the impressive thing. Farmer's right to shoot what?
Stick
Or
insect.
the farmer.
You. I hate to say it, Ronnie, but you're close.
Or the farmer's wife.
Other farmer's dog.
That's it.
Yes!
Farmer's right to shoot neighbour's dog.
For a second there, I thought you said Balmer's right to shoot neighbour's dog, and I was like,
Ronnie
really?
Balmer's right to shoot it. Or he's right to do it.
Is it right as in I have my rights, or is it right as in tick? Right.
I'll give you it. A dairy farmer whose dog was shot dead in his garden by a neighbour said yesterday that he had lost his best friend after the gunman was cleared of wrongdoing. David Gould, 49, was milking his cows when Alan Jackson, the sheep farmer, marched in with a shotgun and fired at his border collie Poppy. Mr. Gould ran to the dog's aid, but it died outside his farmhouse near Henbury, Cheshire. Police arrested Mr. Jackson, 51, who claimed he'd seen Poppy attacking one of his ewes. He said he killed the dog to protect his flock. It was claimed that pellets from the gun smashed a window and became embedded in Mr. Gould's wallpaper. However, Mr. Jackson was cleared of trespassing with a shotgun at Macclesfield Magistrates Court.
This is quite funny because well, no,
Really?
it's not funny, poor little dog. But my granddad was a farmer, and my mum's cat was shot because he thought it was a fox, and he didn't tell my mum.
Well, that's
For a while.
horrible, Laura.
I don't have any.
There's a picture of the dog. We've put that on Twitter as well, on Facebook.
Just
got
in
nice
case you want to
eyes.
feel a bit miserable.
That is, I don't want to play anymore.
If you can't see it, just imagine a really cute dog being shot dead
There you go.
and a man losing his best friend.
Wow.
Okay, that's the end of the headline deadline. So I'm going to give our contestants an opportunity to come up with a last ditch, like a begging for points, as it were. So you can do a poem, you can do a rap. If you could do a dance, a short dance, and then describe it to us, that's going to be extra points this week. So I'm going to go to Ronnie first.
All I have is another pun. I've started a new business venture. It involves performing brain surgery, but only on rabbits. I'll be honest, it's a harebrained scheme.
Rachel, our producer, how many points do you think that should get?
Minus all of Ronnie's points.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll just give him none. Pete, have you got anything for us?
I've got a sad haiku.
Hit me.
What's black and white and red all over? I don't care, said the lazy clown.
Fantastic. A couple of points for you there, Pete. All right, and finally, Laura Dean Dino, what have you got
I
for us?
wrote a poem, and it's a good poem, and it's called Ode to Points. I like points. They make me happy. They make me happier than that rapper Daffy. Although other rappers are available, I think that they are all terrible. I think that I should win this show because I think I have room to grow. That may be slightly beside the point. Don't let this plea put you out of joint. We've covered dogs, geese, bees and corn pops. Speaking of pops, it's Father's Day. Hooray. And so comes to the end of my little ditty. Apologies if this poem is a little rubbish.
Bravo! Well, definitely lots of points to you there, Laura. That was
Cheers.
fantastic. Wow. Okay then. Well, I can reveal the final scores. Can we have a drum roll, please? In last place this week is Mr. Ronnie Balmer on 30 points.
With how many points?
With 30 points.
Oh, that's respectable.
Respectable.
For a loser.
That must have been
Trash
a bit of a
talk.
burn, a scony for you there.
Any of the points that Ben has given to himself.
Well, I had 4 points, so I'll go down to 0. Oh, you can't cross out tallies, can you? That just increases them.
Yeah, it adds 1.
Okay, in second place this week it's Mr. Pete Smith on 38.
Wait, looks like I got the Silvio place.
And our one and Berlusconi this week is Ms. Laura Dean on 40.
Was it the poem?
It was the poem that tipped you over there. You and Pete were
Thanks.
drawing before that, but you put so much effort into
You
that, I had to
did.
give you the bonus points.
Oh.
We do have a few final comments before we go. We've got the Berlusconi age. Good. That's from Unknown. And also Unknown says, farmers' right to shoot player of sports who use their land approved. This includes football, rugby, frisbee, tennis, walkers. Frisbee is a trade name, by the way. Sorry.
Is walking a sport?
Walking.
Is that a sport?
Well, if you power walk.
And also we've got a message from Firefox which says unable to connect. Other internet browsers are available, of course. So, this is the penultimate Talk of the Devil of the year. Join us next week for our big extravaganza final episode. We'll probably go on for a little longer next week because, hey, why not? Once again, can I have a big thank you, firstly to all our audience members for messaging in. Thank you, Unknown. I think you're going to be the winner this week, although actually didn't leave a name, so I guess the winner of the best listener this week is Laura's dad.
Nice one, Pete.
Thank you again to Ms. Rachel Smith for producing our show, Mr. Pete Smith, Miss Laura Dean, and Mr. Ronnie Balmer. I almost said Miss Ronnie Balmer there. I don't know if she's listening, but we like you. This has been a production by the Lancaster University Comedy Institute. Thanks again to our writing team, which was me, and also thanks to me, Ben Winterton, for hosting the show.